Hey, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. Just a quick trade about, or a quick video anyway, on a modest little trade that we had. So FarFetch was a stock that I've been stalking for a while because it was setting up in this volatility squeeze, tracking along the 50-day moving average. This little dip here was a bit of a concern, but then the stock rallied back above it. And so this was still a viable trade. It rallied back above and then volume stayed, a little bit below average, but the bigger bars here were green, so that's a good thing. All right, so I'm watching the stock, not really taking any action because one day, frankly, looks like the next. A rally up and then a weak close. Another rally up and then a weak close. Okay, so we're just kind of watching this stock. And then, frankly, when it gets up to here, now this is something that I really want to look at. We want to buy this thing just above 30 bucks. And so here, 30 bucks, okay, that's not above 30 bucks. So I had an alert and a good till canceled a limit buy order at $30.10. Boom, it was hit on this day. Okay, so the stock rallied up to 30.85. We're in at 30.10, and then we're, immediately down on the trade. However, my stop, because of the nature of this trade, my stop was actually pretty loose. It was below 28 bucks, and so we didn't get stopped out. And now we're sitting here patiently waiting in a losing position, but it was within normal trading limits on where the stock would be. There's nothing wrong with this stock. Okay, we bought it here on a fake out, but the pattern still remains. So you're sitting here, your stop's in place. And so just sitting here with the trade, you don't have a right to be paid off immediately. So as long as the trade is not working, as long as it's still okay, even if you're down a bit, you can stay in the trade. All right, and then so what do we get? We get the stock that moves up, boom. Now suddenly we're profitable, and it's all good. You look at the volume here, really solid volume, and then the stock just keeps going. So again, we're in at 30.10. After 2 days into the rally, we're up over 15%. And then what are we the next day? We get a higher intraday high, higher intraday low, just like we had here. So we've got 3 higher intraday highs and lows in a row. And here's the important thing. When you see this type of dynamic, don't just say, oh, okay, I got to sell. It's gone up enough, and now I got to get out of here. Look at the intraday lows. Look at the intraday highs. The idea is that the intraday low shows you the maximum power of sellers. Like on Tuesday, the low was 31.63. Sellers could not drive the stock down lower than 31.63, not even to 62. Why? Because buyers were there soaking up the supply. And so that was the maximum power of sellers. Now you compare that to what's gone on today. The maximum power of sellers here was 33.46. So the sellers are weakening in their ability to push the stock down. The buyers are strengthening in their ability to stop the supply and actually drive the stock higher. So we're seeing this imbalance of power persist. Buyers are stronger than sellers 3 days in a row. And now we're up here on our 4th day here. And what do you think's going on? Again, buyers are way stronger than sellers. Stock's up now at 41 bucks. We are up, I think, like over 35%, almost 40%. And so the point is, you can get in on these trades, but you're not going to, sometimes you're going to have perfect timing, but you'd be surprised at the number of stocks that you'll wind up buying, and then it's a little bit of a fake out, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the stock. It's just this is what stocks do sometimes. They squirt higher and then they fall back. But then if you stick with it, just keep your stop where your stop is. And then once the stock starts working, forget about all this time that you spent in the position where it didn't go anywhere. That's for the history books. Focus on what's going on now. The company reports earnings in a week on the 12th. All I know is it's at 41 bucks now. I'm not even going to posit a notion about whether the stock's going to keep going or not. We just have to take our cues from the stock. Let's just put it this way. We put ourselves in a position to win by finding a good pattern, a company with good fundamentals, and this company does, and it's a fairly recent IPO, from 2018, and just recently surpassed this initial, what I call enthusiasm high. So this is a stock that could ultimately go a lot higher just based on how IPO stocks that break out to new all-time highs typically trade. So I like this position. Frankly, I wish I owned more of it. And so if you're already long this stock, and I know a lot of our members are because it's been on the list since here. If you're long this stock, I think it's really problematic to be buying right now, maybe buying more. I would just focus on protecting what you have and being happy with the profit that you have. Okay, I'm Dan Fitzpatrick. I'll see you all next.